As you probably going to be going on a boat ride today, we got some cool stuff planned for you. Mother Nature has blessed us with a beautiful sunny day. If you can look out over the lake, we got a beautiful lake, green trees, blue water, not too windy. It's just a perfect setting for today. So before we go ahead and get in the boat and get moving, got a few things to have. First, I got a life jacket. Everybody on the boat have a life jacket. You want to make sure that it's Guard approved. You might have heard the governor on social media yesterday warning everybody to make sure you got your life jacket. So this is Coast Guard approved, and it also, this is an adult, small / medium. I'm not too big, that's a size guy, so it fits. So I'm going to put my life jacket on. I got 4 buckles here. Make sure all 4 are buckled. I don't want them to be crossed or anything. I want them straight across. Don't want them twisted around or anything. Nice and straight and flat, and good and secure. Keep me safe and alive. Second thing I have, the hat. It's really sunny out today. Wear a hat to protect the head. I even got a little pin strap here, so if the wind blows, it won't fall off my head. Got some sunglasses to protect my eyes. These are some cheap sunglasses. I wouldn't recommend buying a really, really fancy, expensive pair of sunglasses and going out, but you might drop them in the water and then they're gone. So, good, cheap sunglasses. And then in here, I got a whistle. Always good to have a signaling device when you're out there on the water, in case you have to signal for help or just get somebody's attention to let them know that you're here, or maybe there's some swimmers in the water and you want to let other boats know what's going on. So, got me a signaling device. And last but not least, I got something on my feet. Flip-flop, boat shoes, what have you, because this dock is scorching hot right now, and that boat's been sitting in the sun, and it's really, you don't be walking feet. You also might step on a fishing, there's fish hooks laying around. So I'm all equipped. Now we're going to head over here to the boat. Now, Mr. Jamie here is going to be the boat driver today, and he's going to enter the boat first. So right now we've got it chained to the dock. Sometimes it'll be with a rope. But as you see, Mr. Jamie carefully, calmly, slowly gets in the boat. What he does is he basically leans over and uses his hands to help guide him so he doesn't fall over. Good rule of thumb is to have 3 points of contact at least. You got 2 feet, 1 hand, and you want to step right center to the front of the boat. You don't want to stand or step into each side because it'll tip the boat, rock the boat, and you could fall in. So I'm going to have the camera lady get in the boat now, out of the way, and she's going to safely step into the center of the boat, keep her balance. Good. And she's going to sit right there in the middle. And we even got some cushion. So now I'm up here. So I'm going to grab the chain and I'm going to unchain it. Like I said, sometimes it's a rope, but you got to chain it. All right, so the boat is unchained. Now I'm going to carefully step right to the center. Stay low. Good. And now I'm in the boat. I said this boat's really hot. It's been sitting in the sun all day. We've got these cushions to sit on so we don't burn our tush. And also, these are throwable PFDs. So this is a throwable in case there's a distressed swimmer out there. Throw that out there and they can grab onto that and float. So always good to have these. All right, we're going to begin some quick 6 safety checks, 3 pre-start procedures, and our other things. That way we can just get out there on the water, and then we'll stop the boat. We'll go over it one more time a little thoroughly, and that way you'll be on the same page, and then we'll continue on with the planned excursion here today. So, first things first, we have our fire extinguisher there. It's on full. It's good to go. All motorized. Need to have a fire extinguisher in case something catches fire. Second, we got a paddle. In case we run out of gas or in case our motor doesn't want to work, we can use that paddle to paddle us to shore and have somebody come and help us. It might be a little tough to paddle a whole boat with a little paddle like that, but you can do it. All right, so now let's go over our 6 safety checks real quick. You can pan over to Mr. Jamie. So, Mr. Jamie, you got gas?
Got gas.
Got gas. What are connections?
Connections are secure.
Sure. Number 3 is pump. Pump good.
Pump's good. Good tight.
Number 4.
Here, they're tight.
Good. Number 5.
You got the safety chain, which is attached to the boat and to the motor.
Okay.
This is our keel cord. So it's attached here to the keel switch, and I've got it attached to my wrist as well.
Perfect. Now we will do the 3 pre-start procedures. So we got to make sure first pre-start procedure that the boat is in neutral.
In neutral,
Right.
the reverse, forward, right needle, neutral is where we need to be right now.
Good, it's in neutral. Second pre-start procedure, we want to make sure the throttle is all the way down to slow.
And that's where it's at. It's all the way in the slow position, start position.
Very good. And last but not least, around all the way, 300 degrees, circle, make sure everything is all clear with the motor so we can safely start up the motor.
So we'll
Are
say
we
all
all
clear.
All clear. Put his hand on the motor. Like a lawnmower. Very good. It's starting. You might not do that or not, but put us in reverse. He's a really good boat driver. Back it, shut up. I was going to put in the neutral for a second. Down. And now we're here. Now we're actually moving in. We're in slow, so I'll like that slow. Let's see, it's a nice, easy little boat ride right now. Not too much wind. There's our boat dock, Earl Wallace, and our swim dock tied together. Mr. Alex is waving. That's where we keep when it's winter time. We connect to the boat dock and it stays there. But we've had a lot of boats out on the water today that we've seen. We've seen different houseboats go by. We've seen pontoon boats. We've seen fishing boats. And we've seen some skiing boats as well. Had a few skiers go by. So a lot of boat traffic today. It's been a really nice weather week. So I'm not surprised to see a bunch of people out here. Since there's a lot of boats, we've seen some waves coming through. And we're also just going to always check our surroundings to make sure we're not driving in front of anybody, cutting anybody off, or doing anything like that. We want to stay all safe. Okay, so if you can tell on the camera, this is a very big lake. Lake Cumberland is one of the biggest lakes in the state. Certainly not. Camp Curry's over there on the biggest lake. But Kiernan is a very big lake. We the distance across the lake with GPS, and it's a half a mile. We are basically on the main stem of Lake Cumberland, the widest part. Half mile there, half mile back. So it's quite a big lake. We don't have the very biggest boat, so we're not going to go out there and try to run with the big dogs. We're going to kind of stay here where we're all good. We are basically in the main part of the lake. We didn't see a over here on a pontoon boat, so we definitely don't want to drive too close to them, interfere with their. They seem to be safe. That's good. All right, Jamie, if you could please press the kill button there. Mr. Jamie, press the kill button on the motor. Now the motor is off. Quiet right here. Now we'll safety checks, pre-start procedures a little more in depth, kind of like on the video. Make sure we're all good, and then we'll actually give you a little driving tutorial about how to steer and drive out and around and about. All right, so hand over there to Mr. Jamie. All right, so we did it quickly earlier. We're slowed down a bit. So our first safety check is gasoline. You want to make sure you fill up your gas tank with gas and check before you start. Make sure it's been full. Sometimes pretty full. It seems like it was a little heavy to lift up.
Yeah. Don't have enough gas to get to where you're going and to get back.
Right.
Make sure you remember that.
All right, so the gas gauge reads just about full as well. All right, we got gas. Next is the connections.
So
there's a connection hose. Jamie just disconnected it there, as you see. Now he's going to reconnect. So it's connected one end to the gas tank, and the other end is right up there to the motor. So you can see that they're both snugly connected. Good. So that way, our gasoline can get from the tank to the motor. All right, and to help the gasoline along its way, we've got the pump. You want to just kind of squeeze that and make sure it feels tight. When the pump feels tight, that means there's gasoline in the connection line. If the pump, you squeeze it, feels like it's empty, then you want to keep squeezing it some more until it pumps that gas through the line into the motor. Once it's tight, you know your gasoline is reaching the motor. All right, now number 4 is down there at the base That's clamps. Now those are really tight already because we put that on there the other day. We secured the motor to the boat. So Jamie double checks those and they are really, really tight. So it's all the way clamped on, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So turn to the right. The safety chain is back up. See one end of the motor right there where Mr. Jamie's pointing. The other end of the chain is wrapped around the bottom of the boat. There's basically a little area where the chain can wrap around and connect back to itself. So that way, if our clamp somehow came undone and the motor tried to fall in, it would be caught by the chain, so your motor wouldn't sink all the way to the bottom of the lake and you won't lose your motor. And then last is number 6, the kill cord. Mr. Jamie's got it on his wrist. He's got one end wrapped around his wrist. Very good. And the other end is there by the kill button. So basically, that little wire pops out, it will stop the motor. Okay, so when it's popped in like that, it keeps that kill button up. So it's up, so it won't stop. Once it pops out, the button will fall, and then it will stop the motor. Or you can just press the button real quick. It'll stop the motor that way. All right, so those are our 6 safety checks: gas, connections, pump, clamps, chains, kill cord. Now the 3 pre-starting procedures. We'll go over them just a little more. All right, the first one is the gear. Jamie's hand is on the gear shifter. Straight up and down. That's reverse. All right, straight up and down, that's neutral. It will give a neutral, so you could pull it, and then when it's pointed forward, now that will be forward gear. You don't want to start. So they actually got it safety child-proof. All right, so he's got it in neutral gear. Very good. Then we want to make sure our throttle is in slow, or sometimes it's a turtle. You see the throttle is all the way on slow, 0%. You don't want to start your boat when it's up all the way up because that's not good for the motor. All right, and last but not least, let's make sure we're clear. You can see that pontoon boat with the tuber over there. They seem to be going in that direction. You see any driftwood, Mr. Jamie?
I think we're all clear.
All clear driftwood. No swimmers around. All right, so it looks like we are all clear. All right, we'll shout it again together.
All clear.
All clear. All right, now Jamie's going to put the gas tank back down, and then he's going to start the motor again. So he's going to put one hand on the motor, one hand on the pull cord, and pull it like a lawnmower. And as you see, he didn't let go of it when he fully extended. He let it back in easy, so it didn't basically whiplash and smack his hand. So now we are started. Mr. Jamie's going to get us turned a little bit. And we got a cool little thing that we want to do today. We're going to do a little fishing action out here. But first, we're going to drive around and show you how to steer. All right, so Mr. Jamie has got it in neutral right now. Now it's in forward. As you see, the throttle handle pointing straight forward. The water is basically being pushed straight back, which is causing our boat to go in a forward direction. Now let's say if Mr. Jamie turns the boat to the left, steering is opposite. So he would point right. So he's pointing the handle to the right. As you see now, the water is being pushed that way, which basically moves the boat in the opposite direction, and the front of the boat will turn. Steering is opposite. So if he wants to turn left, he points the throttle handle to the left, and right. So once you point it out to the left, there we go. Now we are turning to the right. I guess it's a little bit hard to tell when the camera's pointing that way. Why don't we place it this way up toward here, and you can see out the beautiful lake. And we'll have Jamie, can you speed up just a tad? Not loud enough to disturb the mic, but just so we can get a little momentum going. Now we're heading out. We're going to check both ways. It doesn't look like boats are around us, so we're good and secured. How about Mr. Jamie, if we wanted to turn this way, we want to point our handle that way. Mr. Jamie's pointing the handle that way. Turn. Very good. The water's nice and calm. Really no waves to worry about. We're just cruising right along. Nice sunshiny day. Perfect temperature. Couldn't ask for any better. Now we want to turn back toward the dock. So if we want to turn this way, point the handle the opposite way. Now we are turning and turning back to where we came from. And from this angle, you can see Camp Wallace here. I'm not sure how great the camera quality is, but that's called Buck's Point. Camp Wallace is on a peninsula known as Buck's Point, named after Buck Schimpfessel, who worked here for many years. Over there we got the boat dock. Over there we got the fishing dock. Like I said, we're actually going to do a little fishing with you today. Maybe not the fishing you're used to. We're not going to fish with a pole, but we're going to fish with a jug line. That's another way to fish. Alternative method, if you will. So we've actually got a couple jugs. We're going to put some bait on. We're going to toss them out. You see a kayaker up here, though, so we're going to approach with caution. We're going to slow down to slow, which is also known as idle speed. When you're coming into coves or docks or something like that, it's always a good idea to look out for any buoys. Buoys can communicate information to you. You read them, they have symbols and words and stuff. A lot of the time, the buoys will say no wake. If a buoy says no wake, that means you want to slow your boat all the way down. Wake are basically the waves that your boat creates. So if you're going real fast, your boat's going to make a lot of waves. That's called wake. And they don't like having a bunch of waves around the dock. So if you see buoys like that, you want to slow all the way down so your boat's not creating waves. You won't flip any kayakers or have the dock bouncing up and down and all kinds of stuff like that. Nice and calm. Oh, that's Mr. Gutzeit. Mr. Gutzeit works here at Camp Wallace too. He works in the Louisville district. So if we got any viewers from the Jefferson County, Bullitt, Spencer, Shelby County area, Mr. Gutzeit comes to see you in schools in session. How you doing, Mr. Gutzeit?
I haven't caught a cuppy, but you're always doing good. You practice safe boating.
Yes, he looks pretty safe. Mr. Gutzeit is on his kayak there, and as you see, he's got a life jacket on. Is that life jacket Coast Guard approved, Mr. Gutzeit?
Coast Guard approved. Always want to have your personal flotation device. In the dog days of summer out here, cover my head, protection from the sun, a hat, sunglasses, some water,
and some sunscreen, right?
And sunscreen as well.
Oh,
Got my first aid kit and my fishing license in my chest pocket, so we're good to go for the day.
And to top it all off, he's got a beautiful Hawaiian shirt on too. It's an awesome day when you're at the lake.
That is true.
Are you doing any fishing, Mr. Gutzeit?
Been fishing, but nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Crossed.
He's out here enjoying the weather. If you don't get any fish, it's still not a big deal because you're out here in the nice outdoors, nice water, nice sunshine, enjoying life. So he's also got his water there. I see. Always good to stay hydrated. Make sure you got your water with you. Perfect. Well, guess what? We're going to be throwing some jug lines out today. So if you see those, just leave them be. We'll be back to get them. And don't steal our fish. We got a fish on one. I trust you.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Catch some big ones. Good luck to you. And I'll see y'all on the water.
So we're in the woods, right? We're in the woods. All right, so we're going to head over here. We're going to drop our jug lines along this basically bluff. There's some pretty good sunken sycamore trees there that provide good fish habitat. So we're going to toss our jug lines out there. Now we always all slow. All right, why don't you hand me one of them jugs? All right. Hook got caught up there. So if you're wondering what jug line fishing is, it's exactly what it sounds like. I've got an empty milk jug for a flotation device. Sometimes people like to use pool noodles. They'll cut them into sections, tie the string around them, and then on the other end of the string, we got either a treble hook, which is a triple hook, or just a single hook, whichever you like. So the line on this is about 4 feet long, I'd say. So this, as it floats, the line sinks down with the bait on the end of the hook. If you are jug fishing, you must, by law, have written on it your license number. So basically that is your Fish and Wildlife Customer ID. Whenever you buy a fishing license or a hunting license, it has a number on there. And if you're jug fishing, you gotta write your fishing license number on here. That way, if the conservation officer sees it, he checks it, he can use that number to figure out who you are, make sure you bought your license and you're a legal fisherman, okay? So you actually don't have to have a fishing license until you're 16. So most of you viewers are under 16, so you actually don't have to have a fishing license to fish. You get to fish for free until you turn 16. That's because we just love you so much and we want you to fish. So I am getting ready to fish. So I have my fishing license right here, my fishing license holder. As you see, it has some 20 for the year 2020. and that's my customer ID license number right here. So got it right in there. So if the officer wants to check, he'll ask me for it, and I'll show him that, and he'll know that I'm all good. So check. For bait today, we are going to be using some chicken livers. Anybody ever eat chicken livers, I bet? They're really good deep fried, I hear. Catfish love them as well. But right here I have some raw chicken livers. They're a little stinky, they're a little slimy, which is all the better when you're trying to catch catfish. So, I'm going to get a big chunk of that. Got my treble hook here. I'll put my chicken liver, try to get it all on the hook real good. Try not to poke myself. There we go, it's on there pretty secure. Got that, and I'm just going to basically toss it out here in the water. So, there it is. It's got my license number on it. It's sinking down a little bit. Fish are going to start smelling that here in no time, and I might catch fish. So, on jug lines, you have to check them every 24 hours, whether you're jug fishing or sometimes people like to do what are called limb lines. Some people call them set lines. That's basically where you tie your fishing line to a tree branch that's hanging over the water, and you have it hang down with your hook and your bait in the water, and it's basically like the tree branch is your fishing pole. That's called a limb line or a set line. And you got to check those every 24 hours as well. So we will make sure to check that before 24 hours is up. We'll probably check them before, to be honest. See if we got any fish, see if the bait's still on there. We may rebait them, or if there's fish, grab the fish. Or if there's nothing on there and we're done for the day, we will just take those back. So you can't just leave them out there floating forever. That becomes litter. Make sure you pick up your lines. All right, I'm gonna got one more jug line. I'm gonna put some bait on real quick, throw that out, and then we actually got some jug lines that we already set up earlier today, and we're gonna go out and try to check those and see if we have any luck.
Hey, Eric, we got a question.
Sure.
So Tevin wants to know, do you have to have a fishing license to operate a boat?
You do not. That is a good question. You do not have to have a fishing license to operate a boat, but I will tell you the rules about operating a boat just as soon as I throw this thing in the water. All right, there we go. So the boat we're driving today is a 9-horsepower boat. Horsepower means how fast the boat is. All right. So at camp, we have 9-horsepower boats. By law, if you read the fishing and boating guide, which I have right here, I always like to have that on me as well, so I can check it and make sure everything's good, following the rules. By law, if the boat is 10 horsepower, so that means 1 horsepower faster than the boat we're driving. If it's 10 horsepower or more, you have to be 12 years old or older to drive that boat. Now, if you're between the ages of 12 and 17, which some of you watching are between 12 and 17 years old, to drive that boat, you have to also pass the boater education course. Big old fish just popped up right here. And once you finish that course, you get a certificate that you pass the boater, and you be able to drive. All right. But camp, we got less than 10 horsepower, so you're allowed to drive the boat. You're down here at campus. You don't have to take the course either, and we're here to help you. Here's one of our jug lines. We got the boat in neutral now, so we're just floating real easy. So that's a good way to drive. And I get it here real close. Try to camp this way.
Hey guys, we're losing your signal there a little bit.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I was able to get that without getting too tangled up. As you see, this one still has the bait on it. So we've got no bite on that one, unfortunately. So we'll cross that one back in, down over there. And we'll come back and check that again a little bit later. All right, next. See one up here. So let's go check this one. Nice and easy. Genuine boat driver, so glad to have him and take off the front.
So they're going over, they're checking a jug right now. For those of you all that can hear me, I know they're losing signal. So they're checking one of their last jugs.
Looks like we got one here. happens to be a catfish. Oh.
Looks like they got a catfish. Hey, Eric,
Nice.
bring it over here. We lost your
That's a channel
signal.
catfish here. Yeah. Oh, okay.
They're going to bring it over here. They're losing signal over there. So here they come up on the boat here.
No, you guys are still frozen up a little bit. We'll get you a little closer to
All right.
where we're at.
Nancy, is it showing on my screen?
Let me get back over to you real quick. Hang on.
All right.
Because Eric is frozen, showing off that big fish.
You hear me now?
Nope, I think we got you back.
Good.
All right. Fish. Channel catfish is they have a real nice smooth side. It's usually a little darker on top. They usually got a big white belly. And a lot of time they will have little black speckles along their side. Very common catfish, the most common catfish you are to catch in our state. So I'm actually want to try to measure them real quick. I'm going to set them down on the white part. The white part, we painted it white so it reflects the sun's rays and it stays a little cooler. So
Hey, Alex, hey guys, real quick. Alex, can we try your camera for a minute? Because Jasmine's is showing low bandwidth.
So can you see me?
And Alex, you're sideways. Here we go.
That good? All right. I'm going to measure this here catfish. You measure, you give them some handy, you take your hair, and you put the zero at 5 pounds, and you run all the way down the side, get the tail, and then you grip the tail together on that.
All right, guys, we're working on the signal here real quick. I know we kind of lost them for a minute. Let's see if we can switch back and forth here.
So, that guy measured about 19 inches. 19-inch channel catfish. So I'm going to take my pliers. I'm going to get the hook out of them. Just like that. Hook safely out of our brand new catfish here. And I'm going to give it a release. What do you got, Nancy? Can you see him?
It's lagging a little bit, guys. I don't know how to fix it at the moment.
Any way you can make my screen the main screen?
Yep, I got Alex on screen. Oh, got the catfish in hand. We can see that now.
So here, before I release him, I'm going to actually do what's called reviving the fish. So I'm going to support him by his tail and under his belly, watch out for his fins, set him right in the water, and you actually rock him back and forth underwater, and that will allow for the water to get back into his gills so he can breathe. So I'm going to do that for a little bit, get him back to normal, and he seems like he's come back to life, and there he goes. Swam off to the deep. That was pretty lucky that we were able to catch that. Show you all. Mr. Jamie, if you want to back out, we can show how to come into the dock. Would that be that cut off our bandwidth? All right. Am I still on your camera?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jasmine,
All
just
right.
switch back to yours.
All right.
All right. Can y'all pick me up?
Yep, you're good right now.
All right, we're good right now. So when we come back into the dock, we're going to be approaching the dock in forward gear. And when we get close to the dock, say maybe 20, 25 yards, we want to switch it to neutral. That means the propeller is not going to be pushing us forward anymore. When it's in neutral gear, the motor's still running, but the propeller isn't spinning. So it's basically we'll just be drifting nice and easy, which is exactly what Mr. Jamie just did. He drifted us nice and easy into the cubby here and floated safely into the dock. So right now, Mr. Jamie has got it forward. I've got a hold of the dock, so we're secure. Mr. Jamie, go ahead and shut off the motor. Very good. Motor's off. I'm just holding on to the dock so the boat doesn't drift away. Now what I'm going to do is take the chain and chain it back up. Chain won't float off. Boat's chained up. So as we exit, we're going to do the same things when we enter. We're going to stay low. We're going to use our hands to help us. At least 3 points of contact, and we don't lose our balance. So stand up. Slowly exiting the boat. All right. Now, I'm going to hold the boat so it doesn't want to jerk. All right. Now you can go ahead and step out nice and safely. Very good. Last but not least. Very good. All right. So we're out the boat safely. Now we're going to head over here. We've got a canoeing lesson to give you. I got the good smelling sunscreen with the glitter in it. All righty. So can you see the canoe here? Everybody see the canoe? All right, so we have our canoe ready. So canoeing has 2 seats. You should have you and your partner in the canoe. This is the back of the canoe, right there, and this is the front of the canoe. You can tell because there's room for your feet, and there's also a canoe number and the rope goes on the front. That's the front, that's the back. Between you and your partner, you want the most experienced canoeer to go in the back, because the back of the canoe is where most of the control comes from. Now, Jamie and I, we are both pretty good canoers. I would say we're equal in our experience. So we did rock, paper, scissors earlier, and I can't believe I finally won a game of rock, paper, scissors, so I get to sit in the back. So the person who's going to get in the back is going to get in first. Now, to get in the back, first, your partner is going to help you hold in the middle of the canoe. That way it doesn't try to go crazy on me when I try to step in. So I'm right here. Scoop this paddle a little out of the way. Have one hand on the dock, one hand on the canoe, and I'm going to step right in the middle. Keep my balance. Keep holding one on the dock, one on the canoe until I sit down nice and easy. All right, now I'm in the canoe. Now, Mr. Jamie, if you could unhook the rope. And once Mr. Jamie unhooks the rope, good. Now he's going to get in the front. As you see, I'm going to hold the dock right here for Mr. Jamie while he gets in. So I'm going to help him from this end. There we go. And he sits right down in the canoe. Next, we grab our paddles. Like we showed you on the boating and canoeing video of the virtual camp, one hand on the T-grip, the other hand goes on the throat. So you can get good leverage when you paddle. If you're going to switch ends, you switch hand placements. All right. So I'm actually going to push off the dock just a little bit. Get us out here. All right. So let's demonstrate the first canoe stroke. Mr. Jamie, I want you to paddle on the right side, and I'm going to paddle on the left side.
Okay.
All right. That way we'll go straight. So we're going to do a forward stroke. So we put our blade all the way in the front, pull toward the back. That's a forward stroke. Just like so. Go forward a little bit here. All right. Now we want to go back where we came from, so we're going to do the reverse stroke. That makes you put it in the back and push it toward the front. Reverse stroke. Now we're going straight back. All right. Now, I would like for us to do the forward and reverse sweeps. So we'll start with a forward sweep. So forward sweep, put it in the front, half moon, half circle to the back. That's your forward sweep. All right. Now the reverse sweep is the opposite. Put it in the back, half circle, half moon to the front. Just like so. Now, what Mr. Jamie and I are going to do is we're going to turn in a complete, maybe we'll call it a 180 turn, like a turnaround using the sweep motions. So I'm going to do a reverse sweep on the left, and Mr. Jamie will do a forward sweep on the right. Okay? So we do opposite sweeps on opposite sides. It will cause you to turn on a dime. So we're really not going real forward or any backward. We're just turning in place. If we did the opposite of that, we would turn the other way. So opposite sweeps on opposite sides of the turn. Also, let's say if we're going our forward, we're going to do a forward stroke, a normal forward stroke. If we both do a forward stroke on the same side, all right, I go forward. We'll actually be moving forward, but also turning slightly at the same time. Now we're going forward. Now we're going to reverse stroke on opposite sides, and we'll kind of just go straight. All right, so if you cut on the same side with a forward or reverse stroke, we'll start to turn, cut on opposite sides. It keeps the force even on both sides, so you go straight. All right, now we're kind of close to the dock. We're going to demonstrate the fifth canoe stroke, which is the draw stroke. So we want to come back into the dock so we can dock, reach straight out, keep our balance, and draw the water towards the canoe. We'll go sideways. Once we get close enough, we can use our T-grip, hook onto the dock, pull us in. Now we're on the dock. I got my hand on the dock so we don't float off. We'll put our paddles back in. Now, the person in the back is where the most of the control and stability comes from, so that person wants to stay in the longest. So, Mr. Jamie in the front, I'll hold the canoe so it doesn't drift off. 3 points of contact, Mr. Jamie safely exits the canoe. All right, now I'm right here. I'm gonna need a little help, so Mr. Jamie's gonna hold the canoe for me so I can get out. So, right in the center, keep my balance. One hand here, squeeze them together. Step up, step out. Now I'm out. Now, lastly, we'll want to hook the canoe back up to the dock so it doesn't drift off. Mr. Jamie, if you could take that over there for me, please, that'd be perfect. All right. Now, if we didn't follow the safety rules of the canoe and we weren't staying balanced and we were jumping in there and jumping out and doing a bunch of crazy stuff, odds are we would probably flip the canoe where it'll tip over and you'll fall in the water. That's why you wear yourself a life jacket. Now, it's not the end of the world if you tip over your canoe. People do it a lot. As long as you're safe and got your life jacket on, you'll be all right. But the problem is, once people tip their canoe, it fills up with a bunch of water and they don't know what to do. So I'm going to show you how to untip your canoe, or basically get all the water out of it. So over here, as you see, I pre-flipped the canoe. It's got all the water in it. It's full of water. All right, not what you want. So you can do this on the dock, or you can do it on the shore. Either way, it's the same strategy. So I'm gonna unclip it, and I'm gonna walk the canoe down here to the boarding platform, and I'll show you how to unflip it. This thing's really heavy. It is totally full of water. I would say this thing weighs 300 some pounds, full of water. Gallons and gallons and gallons of water in here. So I'm gonna walk it over here to where I can get down closer to it. There's a big piece of driftwood in my way, but that shouldn't be a problem. And slowly but surely, we'll head over this way. So here it is. What you want to do is get the canoe pointing straight at you, as it is right here. You want to crouch down where you can grab the canoe. Now, if you want to do this on the shore, you would have to get in the water a little bit. So you would probably just be about knee deep in the water, standing next to the canoe. Most people would say, oh, my canoe's got all this water in it. I got to get the canoe out and dump the canoe out. And then they would try to grab the canoe, stand up with it. When that thing comes, you're probably going to throw your back out, hurt your back real bad. So you don't want to try to lift the full canoe out of the water. It's too heavy. So to unflip it, basically, you roll the canoe over upside down while it's still in the water. All right, so I'm gonna try to get down here close. I'm gonna start rotating it. And it's really not that heavy. I roll it upside down underwater. Okay, now I pick it up and I put the nose either on the dock or over there on the shore. This canoe is made of aluminum. Aluminum is a very lightweight metal. It's not very heavy. Okay, so I got it just barely out. Now I'm going to get it out a little bit more. Now I pull it up here on the dock. I come up as far as I can, and I set it down. As you see, the excess water is draining out to the back, but the majority of the water came out when I rolled it over, upside down. The majority of the water just whoop, goes right back in the water, and I don't have to break my back. So I walked it up onto the dock like this. If you're standing on the shore, you would just turn it upside down in the water and just walk it up onto the shore like that. Once you get it all the way up on the shore, you say, about all drained out. Now, either you or you and a partner, if you're lucky, you get a partner help. Well then, just nice and easy, roll the canoe over, set it down easy, and as you see, there's no more water in the canoe. Now, we're gonna put the canoe back in the water. So Mr. Jamie's gonna push from his end. I'm gonna guide it in nice and easy. And there we have it. So we unput our canoe. All good. Now I'm gonna bring it over here and tie it back up to the dock. With the clip, just like that, and that canoe will stay put. So hopefully that was a nice piece of information for you if you ever do flip a canoe and you need to unflip it. So Miss Nancy, do we have any questions that we can answer for you?
There's been a few, Eric. Maybe talk to them a little bit about the different life jackets. Somebody was noticing that while ago. Yours looks different than the one Jamie's wearing.
Oh yeah, very good. All right, can we step out here in the sun? Can you see us? All right. So Mr. Jamie's life jacket is still perfectly legal. It's Coast Guard approved. It's all good. This is an inflatable life jacket. So as you see, it's not inflated right now. That's why it looks so small. But here's the pull cord. Right here it says pull, jerk to inflate. And as you see, there's the big yellow one that goes and pumps up with air. Basically what's in here, all the way right there, my finger's on it up here, there's a CO2 canister, a little carbon dioxide container. And once you pull that, it opens the container, and it's basically pressurized gas that fills up the nest with carbon dioxide, which is what you breathe out when you breathe out. So it's not like, poisonous or anything really. It just fills it up with CO2 and inflates it, and that will float. So every now and then you want to check these and make sure the CO2 canister is still good. All right, every now and then you want to replace them as well. A lot of them will have a little indicator on there where it should show a green color. That means they're still good. And right now I just got your typical life jacket that you're used to, that you saw you put on earlier, and I'm pretty much sweating through the thing. It's a good hot one out today. Oh.
Yeah. Well, when you're wearing, if you were to go into water, you just automatically float. The one Jamie's wearing, you go into the water and a couple seconds, you're going to float when the jacket inflates. That's what people have been asking. A couple of people, Alex especially, has been asking, can you go over the parts of the boat, like bow and port and starboard, and what all that means?
Sure. Let's walk up the boat again.
So here's our boat. So the front of the boat is called the bow. This is the bow of the boat, the front.
B-O-W, right?
B-O, yeah. The back of the boat is called the stern. The back of the boat is the stern. The right side is starboard. Okay, that's the starboard side. And the left side, well, as we're looking at it, would be the right side. This over here would be the port side. You got bow, stern, starboard, and port.
Yeah.
So as we're looking at the boat, front to back, left side would be the starboard side, right side port, front and back, with the bow and stern.
So I want to think of it as we're sitting in the boat, looking forward in the boat. You have the left side of the boat, right side of the boat. Left is port, right is starboard. One way I like to remember that is the word port, P-O-R-T, has 4 letters. The word left, L-E-F-T, has 4 letters. So port, left, both 4 letters. Port is the left side of the boat. Starboard has a bunch of letters. Right has 5 letters, more than 4. So starboard is right, port, left. Bow is the front, stern is the back. Also, if you're going to drive a boat at night, you have to have navigational lights. Your boat has to have lights on it. And it's not exactly like headlights are on your car, a little different. So there's a green light, red light, and a white light. It has to be on your boat if you're going to drive it at night. Okay? The red light is supposed to be on the port side. So red is the left side. The green light is supposed to be on the right side of your boat on the starboard side. That way, when people are looking at your boat, if they see red or green, they'll know which way your boat is going. And on the back of the boat, in a 360, should be a white light that's visible from all sides. So if you're white, red, you're green. And by seeing that at night, you know what side of those lights are supposed to be on, and you can tell which direction that boat is pointing. And that can help keep you safe when you're driving a boat as well, so you don't drive in front of a boat at night. So that's why, so people can see you at night. If you don't have lights on your boat, it is illegal to drive it at night. You cannot drive a boat at night without lights. You get in big trouble for that. So it's very unsafe, and somebody could get hurt.
Hey, Eric, they're asking too, so the inflatable jackets, we'll jump back to the jackets for a minute. The inflatable jackets, once they've been used, like they've inflated, can they be used again?
Yes, they can be used again. You can just use the CO2 cartridge in them, and they can be used again.
Yeah, you'd have to take the CO2 canister cartridge off of there and then deflate the life jacket, fold it back up how it's supposed to be, put it back in there with the Velcro, and then you can put a new canister in there as well.
Yep, there's a little kit you can buy to recharge them. So asking about the lights. So if you don't have lights on your boat, where might you be able to get some?
Well, you can buy them at any sort of sporting goods or boating store, and you can fix them to your boat. And for a boat like this, the lights would have to be battery powered. If you go boating,
Oh, Eric, we may have lost you, bud. Hey, Alex, I'm going to bring you back. I think we've lost Jasmine's phone.
on a typical boat, if you're like on a ski boat or a fishing boat or something,
Put your phone out.
Then your boat's going to be powered by a big old boat battery, and there's going to be wires running through your boat to the lights to keep them working. But if you were to buy lights for a boat like that, that's not all fixed up like that, you just have to have battery powered lights, and you would mount them on your boat. There'd probably be some sort of maybe Velcro or some kind of sticky material, or you could even drill a hole and use a nut and a bolt and get them on there so you know they won't come out.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're switching back and forth between the phones so we get the best signal. They're out there on the lake, so sometimes it goes and comes. So other questions about our safety, our water safety, and about our boats today? If you've never been to Lake Cumberland, are you guys catching the views in the background? It's a beautiful spot.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We've had a few boats. There's a couple boats going by right now. One boat just came up and asked us if they could use the dock.
Oh, yeah.
We were live filming a session, so we asked them to just politely stay over there for now.
And just going back a couple comments, Alex, why are you all docking or using the dock for the canoes when you could use the shoreline? I bet some people don't know how deep that lake is.
Yes. Yeah. So here at Lake Cumberland, it's a very deep lake. It was basically formed by, we had a river here called the Cumberland River, and they built the Wolf Creek Dam, and it dammed up all the water, and basically flooded the river into a big lake. And you know, if you know about rivers, that water moves real fast and it erodes out the bottom and makes it very deep. So if you overflow a river into a lake, you're going to have a very deep channel in the middle there. So this lake is naturally deep. The shorelines here are pretty rocky. We wouldn't really be able to safely put canoes in from the shoreline over here. It's just too rocky. We'd fall and hurt ourselves. So we just keep the canoes tied up to this fancy schmancy dock. And we got these boarding platforms so we can get real close down to the water and enter the canoe safe and sound. But if you're on something like a lake or a nice creek that has low banks, maybe a muddy bank that's, that you can walk on without losing your shoes and getting sunken down in the mud, you can walk a canoe up the bank and get in that way. But here, the shores are too steep and the shores are too rocky. So we like to enter the canoes and boats here from the dock.
Yeah, I think that question was coming from somebody who might have gone to Camp Curry, where our lake is a little bit more shallow in spots at least.
Yeah.
Hey, Josie says hi. She went there for 3 years. She went to Camp Wallace for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Josie.
Thanks for tuning in, Josie. Appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing Camp Wallace again, at least the boat dock part.
Yeah, lots of people went there last year. Hey guys, we got any more questions before we let this Wallace crew go? Any questions about our life jackets and the safety, the boats they're using? Because they showed you 3 different ones today. They showed you the motorboat, they showed you all the kayak, and then the canoe. Any other quick questions before we get out of here today? I do appreciate many of you guys in the chat today throwing me some good questions and good comments. Any last?
I can also do a cannonball if you want me to do a cannonball before we sign off.
All right.
Josie says you went to her school.
Oh, awesome. That's
All right.
great.
So thumbs up, everybody want to see Eric do a cannonball into the lake before he leaves?
I think so.
All right.
I want to
We're
do
gonna
one I'm
count
burning
this
up
down.
out here.
We're going to count it down.
I'm going to hopefully give you a big, good splash, but don't make fun of me if it's not very good splash.
Make sure you get
All
out
right.
of this.
I'm going to keep my life jacket on because I'm safety first.
All right.
All right.
We're going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1.
Cannonball!
Good job, guys and Wallace. Let's see a lot of big smiles there. Hey, just a couple of things here before we end this thing. Nice job.
I got my life jacket on. It's keeping me nice and afloat. Oh, nice.
That's a
So
rough
make sure
way to
you got
work,
your life
bud.
jacket on, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Now it's going to be hard getting him out of there. We'll just leave him out there. Hey guys, before we sign off today, I do want to send out a few quick reminders. Hey, don't forget to be getting your stuff in for your camp-in patches, because we do have the real patches to mail out to you as you finish up. We've just got a few weeks left of our camp-in program, so if you haven't finished all your patches yet, you might want to go and get those sent in to us. And also, as I've mentioned a couple weeks, don't forget, we got that talent show thing happening too. So if you want to get a chance to earn some prizes, some rewards for that, don't forget to send in those videos as well. Hey, next week we will be talking shotgun safety. We're also going to be back at Webb this Thursday. So if you missed out on the Nature Wildlife ID Zoom we did, or if you just want to tag in again, we've got another one of those happening on Thursday, and those emails have been sent. We've got a folder of bombers behind me. That email is sent with the link to that if you guys want to get signed up for that Nature Zoom. We're doing another one on Thursday, and then we'll see Alex next week talking about shotguns. Guys, thank you all for hanging out with us again. You can see them out on the lake. Let's be jealous. They're out there swimming and having a good time. Hopefully you all get a chance to be out in the water as well. We'll see you all next week.